Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is Thursday, which is January the 5th, and in this podcast, I go over topics in regards to the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. So I speak on things such as hauntings, curses, soul travel, near death experiences, out of body experiences, hauntings, curses, generational curses, black and white magic, spiritual apathy, spiritual transition, spiritual transcendence, um, reincarnation. I also discuss belief systems such as Wiccan, witchcraft, Santeria, Satanism, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism. I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is for entertainment purposes. Okay? And so, today's topic is spiritual evolution. What is spiritual evolution? Well, I do have a podcast episode where I mentioned about spiritual renewing. When you reach that point in life where there is a unfavorable event or maybe some traumatic experience that takes place in your life, and you reach your state of nirvana where God gives you an epiphany about life and you see things in a whole nother sensibility and you have reached your spiritual renewing. Oftentimes you would notice personality changes, people changing their physical appearance and things of that sort, and that's how you know a person has reached their spiritual renewal by way of nirvana. Now, once we have moved through that stage in life and God has continued to put things into our spirit, it will begin to permeate in your environment and the people around you will begin to see it as well. I coined this as spiritual evolution or higher evolution, is what it mentions here. It is the idea that the mind or spirit, in analogy to biological evolution, collectively evolves from a simple form dominated by nature to a higher form dominated by the spiritual or divine. So, um, you begin to see life in a whole nother sensibility. Um, you will begin to take note of things apart from what you've been told. You'll begin to see through, as they would say, see through people. And that's not to, it's not that you're on a witch hunt. I don't want people to feel as though, oh my gosh, I'm going around and just pointing at everybody and no, 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 no. No, that's not what I'm getting at. Um, it's it's a change in your perspective. It's a change in how you view the world, how you view people's around you. So I'm on a website, Chopra. Have you ever heard of Chopra? Um, he's a I want to say they refer to him as a dosha, but he has certifications here where you can do a meditation certification, health certification, total well-being teacher, and coaching certification that he offers here. And it helps with those who have experienced some sense of trauma or some sense of disruption to the mind, body, and spirit. Deepak Chopra has a book, How to Know God: Seven Foundational Biological Responses. It mentions about the flight, fight, or flight response. It says this is the most primitive survival response of our nervous system. It's based on fear and the perception that our environment is threatening. As the name implies, in fight or flight, our nervous system is primed to run away or engage in physical aggression whenever confronted with potential danger. The reactive response. This response is the psychological equivalent of the fight or flight response. However, rather than acting to protect our body, we engage in behaviors to protect the ego and our personal boundaries. Anger, criticism, cynicism, and disrespect are the psychological versions of the fight response, while withdrawal, pouting, and sulking equates to the flight response. The restful awareness response. The restful awareness response is the nervous system experience of deep peace, stillness, and going within. During this state, we expand our internal reverence point through practices such as meditation, prayer, and self reflection. The intuitive response. In this response, our insight and understanding come from within as opposed to the outer world. When your mind has settled, you are able to assess the wise, knowing awareness that is plugged into the vast field of cosmic intelligence. The creative response. It allows us to have a shift in perspective and apply a new context or meaning to situations and circumstances. Novel ideas and solutions can emerge, giving birth to something never seen before. This is also the state of healing in which the body has a creative response to a challenge, allowing well being and health to be restored. Then you have the visionary response. The sixth response is the level of collective consciousness and the archetypal domain that calls us each to live a mythical life. From this state, we can have a vision of what we can become and consciously participate in the story of our lives. The sacred response. This is the state of unity in which the boundaries between us and others disappear, seeing ourselves in others and the other in ourselves. We bypass the ego's sense of what's in it for me and experience the desire to be of service in the world. In the recognition that we are each waves on the universal ocean of spirit, eternal, unbounded, and infinite, we become established in compassion, harmony, and love. So, um, it goes on to mention about, you know, what are some of the things that um, help you reach your ladder in conscious evolution? Are you routinely triggered into anger or hostility outbursts? Do you sometimes become defensive and emotionally and psychologically reactive? Are you able to embody stillness and restful awareness as your ground state? Do intuitive and creative solutions spontaneously present themselves? So, awakening to awareness. Um, and steps towards spiritual evolution. You want to meditate, become familiar with your chakra systems. Um, the first, which is the base of the spine, biological response is fight or flight. The second, which it mentions, is the pelvis. Biological response is reactive. The third is the solar plexus. Biological response is restful awareness. The fourth is the heart. Biological response is intuitive or intuition. The fifth is the throat. Biological response is creativity. The sixth is the forehead. Biological response is visionary. Seventh is the crown of the head. Biological response is sacred. So, this right here has a lot to do with um how you can, um, when you are on your path to evolution. It's along the lines of what I'm talking about. And if you go on this website, it does have a renew and restore detox kit. It's a 7-day cleanse rooted in the wisdom of Ayurveda and based by science. It's inspired by Chakra Health Retreat. So it helps clear away brain fog, ignite your digestive fire, rev up your energy. So you can purchase this kit if you go on this website, chopper.com, and it's $165. But I mean, there are other kits and things on here that you may be able to get, and different tablets and things to help you if you are looking to expand on your spiritual consciousness. Because I do feel as though you do have things out there that are very potent, and you'll get an inclination that some of the things that are out here are watered down. Okay, so I'm not sponsoring them. I'm not even endorsing them because I don't know. I'm just talking in general. Okay, so getting back to what I was saying in terms of spiritual evolution. So you have already reached your point of nirvana, and you have already went through detachment from materialistic, superficial things in this existence, and you're preparing yourself for those the second latter part of your life journey in this life experience. So that's basically what evolution is, where you begin to evolve. The milestones, not only physical but mentally and spiritually as well. You are on your path to your better self. Old self versus new self. So basically, that's what spiritual evolution is. Um, I feel as though certain things in life will become apparent at certain periods in time. So again, if you check out my podcast, Holistic Health, I got some things that can help with those things. Um, my Spiritual Sense podcast, I typically record most often on that because it has a lot to do with paranormal, supernatural as well. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense, speaking about spiritual evolution. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or a topic for a future show, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.